Please start, ma'am.
Mahadevi Birla World Academy warmly welcomes you all to the fourth season, second episode of Back to School with our esteemed guest, Spriha Devanath, an alumnus of the batch of 2022. Welcome back, Spriha, to Mahadevi Birla World Academy. We are working towards preparing our students to be creative, innovative, agile, and curious, armed with faculties needed for the 21st century. The back to school sessions are a way to open up the world of opportunities, ideas, and options for our students. Job shadowing helps improve communication, prepares one to anticipate and face challenges, encourages creative and critical thinking. It boosts continuous development and improvement of the various abilities that our students need to be able to contribute positively to the society and be responsible citizens of the ever changing world. This is also an opportunity for them to build their network and learn from each other to get ready for life beyond school. We are privileged to have with us today Spriha Devanath.
Srishti Agarwal.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. I am Shrishti Agarwal, the sports captain of Mahadevi Birla World Academy. I warmly welcome everyone to the second episode of Back to School Season 4. Today we have amongst us Spriha Devanath, who is an old friend, our senior and an alumnus of Mahadevi Birla World Academy batch of 2022. Spriha Devanath is a student at the University of Manchester, UK, studying BSc in Management and specializing in innovation, strategy, and entrepreneurship. She passed out from Mahadevi Birla World Academy in 2022 itself and was the sports captain for the year 2021 to 2022. Representing her school at various championships, engaging herself in various activities, and coping up with everything along with her academics, all her school life, Ms. Devanath has always shown immense sportsmanship and dedication towards her goals. She has always been a very enthusiastic and energetic person who believes in never giving up without a fight. Currently, she is representing the University of Manchester as a part of the women's table tennis team. Welcome back to school, Ms. Devanath. Our MBWA family is and will always be proud of you and your success. We hope you keep climbing new heights. The students of MBWA are eagerly waiting to learn and acquire more information on how to maintain a balance between sports and academics. I would now request Ms. Devanath to kindly share a few words about herself and then take us all through her journey.
Thank you so much, Shrishti. A very good morning to everybody, and it's a great honor and privilege to be able to attend this session and share my journey with you all. It's a big deal for me that I'm back at my school just few months after I pass out, and I'm already sharing my journey. I've been balancing sports with academics all my life. And it's not been easy, it's been tough, but I think it was worth it. It has got me where I am today. And I completely owe it to my school, Mahadevi Birla World Academy, for all the opportunities that I've got. And it has showed me the way, and I think I couldn't have asked for a better life than this. So today I'm going to share my journey, a little bit about it with you all. I've had experiences and incidents, and you can call them highlights, that I'm about to share with you, that actually marked or changed my life in various ways. So with all your permission, I would like to start the slideshow, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Ma'am, is it visible? Okay. So good morning, everybody. It's a very chilly morning here, and the sun's not up yet. You can see it's still dark outside, but I'm up because I was so nervous and excited at the same time to be attending this session. So my journey started at the age of 3.5 when my mother took me and got me into table tennis. But actually, she was about to put me into cricket, but due to some reasons, I ended up, playing table tennis. And I started at this very small club in my locality. It was, 2 minutes from my home. My mother used to take me every day. We used to walk, and she used to take me every day to that place.
Sorry to
And not that,
interrupt. 1 minute, Spriha, I cannot see your screen. It's showing loading. Your PPT is not visible.
oh,
It was visible all this time, but suddenly, it has
ma'am,
disappeared.
then I'll stop sharing and do it again.
Just stop sharing. And ma'am sends her wishes, good wishes to you.
Oh,
She's not
thank you.
able to join live with us, but she'll definitely watch the recordings.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, now it is visible. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. I'm sorry for the glitch. So, I started at this very small place in my locality. And not that I was very serious from the very start. I mean, I was only 3.5. So, uh, I used to go there half of the time. I used to do everything else but play table tennis. So, my start was not good, but my mother used to take me there every day. She had that patience. She saw something in me, and that's how I started. So, this one. So this picture is actually the very first title that I won. Um, specifically speaking, I did not win this. It was a final that I lost for the under 10 category. But that was the first time I learned how to take defeat, and learn from it. But it was a big achievement for me because from 3.5, and I was 9 at this time. So that's a long time. And I went for practice every day. So my routine was basically waking up in the morning, getting ready for school. Then after school, I used to come back and have my lunch, go for my practice, come back, study a bit, and that's it. Again, every day. Every day used to be the same thing. And that happened for a long time. And I did not really, win or have any achievements until I was 9. This was my big break. So this was at the state championship at the under 10 event. And this gentleman, he's a really well known person. And I think it was a big honor for me to be able to stand beside him. So this was my first break, and this opened up, my ways of seeing myself in this sport career in table tennis. My coach, Roby sir, he always believed in me, and he was the person who first saw me and told my mother that I think I see something in her. And he asked something from my mother. He asked my mother to give her, she had to give a lot of her time for me because every day she had to take me and sit there for 3 hours. So without second thoughts, she, you know, she started taking me to this place where I actually grew as a player. It's a place called CLT in Dhakuria. So this was the first title that I won ever. And then these were pictures that were taken for local newspaper and magazine. And let me tell you, at this point in my life, I was really growing as a player, as a student. I was doing really well, winning a lot of titles. And, I was being known as, with my name, Spriha Devanath, being a table tennis player in the sports world and at school. And at that time, I was not in MBWA. I was in my old school. So I was around 10 or 11 when these pictures were being taken. So after this, so this is the first time that I won after entering MBWA. So there's this little incident that happened before entering school. Ashok sir was the one who helped me immensely to get into Mahadevi Birla World Academy. And my parents, without any second thoughts, they were ready to change my school because I wanted to pursue, sports along with my academics. And they really saw me growing as a player. And I got into MBA, and I remember her saying that the admission test that I gave, the results were, she said the results were not too good. They were not too bad. Get into, MBWA, but then finally she gave me the opportunity, and this changed my life. This was the first year I got into MBWA, and I was 11 at that time. I was such a kid, and because there was not many players of my age group at that time, so I had to play with my seniors. So at the age of 11, I was playing the under 17 category with my senior Surbi Patwari. These are all my seniors, Tavishi Di, Pritika Di. So at that time, they were the ones who taught me how to balance sports along with academics. And I learned so much from them. So this was the time when we won the individual under 17, team under 17, and under 19 individual and under 19 team. That's why we got the best school award. Then after, what happens when you win at the finals, you basically qualify for nationals. So at the very first year after entering school, I played my first zonals, I played my first school nationals. So it was a big thing for me. But apart from that, what really left a big impression was the experience that I had. When I was there, when I was playing at these tournaments, I had to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning just to be able to get a little bit of practice, because there were so many schools coming from different parts of the world, and all the tables, there were 3 to 4 tables, but there were so many schools. So we had to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning just to, get that chance to be able to practice a bit. And then we had to start our day, have matches, whole day matches. And it was a very good experience. And well, all my seniors, Ashok sir, Shudipta ma'am, at that time, that was my first time going out. So they made sure I felt absolutely comfortable and safe. It was the best first experience I could ever have asked for. So this was the nationals that we qualified for, and this was my first nationals. You cannot see my face here because I was so small, and the trophy was too big for me, and they let me hold the trophy. So this was my first nationals, and I remember it being in Meerut, and it was in December. So in December in Meerut, it's very cold. And similarly, getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I remember we used to go for practice. I mean, there used to be a distance between where I used to stay and where the practice used to be. So we used to get up at 4 a.m. and then start walking. We couldn't see anything in front of us. There was so much fog. And I remember four of us locked arms with each other so that, we could fight the cold. It was so cold. And then when we reached the place where we had to practice, you wouldn't believe, but everyone was up. It was around, you would feel like it's 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. because everyone was up, everyone was practicing, but we had to, get a little bit space so that we could practice. And I think these experiences, they really make you independent and mature, because uh, it's all about you taking care of yourself. Not many people are there, to tell you, okay, wake up, now you need to go, and now you need to do this thing and that. So I think these experiences have really made me independent, and all of these experiences are helping me today here. So this was the first school nationals. Then our school organizes this inter-school. So this was the inter-school before my seniors passed out. So I think it was, I was really sad because we were a great team, and I was a little bit upset because there wasn't any more players after my seniors passed out. So I thought, what am I going to do now? But then, so many juniors joined a school, and we started playing as a team. But the difference is, when I was with my seniors and I was playing with them, they were leading the whole thing, and I was just following them and learning from them. So I had so much to learn, and I did learn so much. And then when I had to take the lead, and when my juniors came and joined the team, and I had to play with them, that's when I understood that it's really not easy to lead a team, representing a school at, a zone level or nationals level. It's not easy. And sports really teaches you something called leadership, and it's very important. It's very important at every point in your life that we learn what leadership is. We need to understand what leadership is. It teaches so much about leading yourself and your team, to learn so much. And then after this inter-school, my seniors passed out and my juniors joined in. And I remember I was in class 8, and my juniors joined and we started playing as a team. But that was my first time leading the team, and I remember not doing well. We couldn't qualify for the nationals, and I was so disappointed and disheartened. I thought that there's something wrong with me. Am I doing something wrong? So I think that year was not easy for me. But then again, in class 9, I came back. I had this great team. I had my junior, Sanya. So she's my teammate. She was my teammate. So here, yes. So this was the nationals, the year when I was in class 9, the year after we lost. So this was in class 9 when we played our zonals. We played really well. And yes, ma'am.
I think we are going live. That's what we got the indication. You continue.
Okay, ma'am. So before the nationals, I remember the whole incident that happened in the zonals. The zonals is basically the level where you have to qualify in order to play for the nationals. So during my zonals match, I remember it was against Shiliguri, and not many people were there from Kolkata, but I think the whole Shiliguri went there in Orissa to support them. And I remember the match, and I remember the screaming and the shouting and everything. Sports also teaches you this one thing, that distractions, they are normal things. Distractions, they are always there, but you need to cut it out and you need to focus on what you are doing. So I was playing this match, and there was this constant shouting and screaming, obviously in favor of my opponent, because we were playing against Shiliguri. So never mind, we had a great team. We worked it out and we won that match. I won my individual title too. And I remember that evening on that day, we had the prize distribution ceremony, and this woman comes up to me and she tells me that, can I have a picture of yours with your coach, Ashok sir? And she asked for my name. She told me that I've never seen someone play like you, and I'm a big fan. So I think that was a big thing for me. It might be a small incident, but I mean, someone asking for a picture, that's at the age of I was what, I was 15. I was 15 that time, and somebody asking for a picture at that age, it was a big thing. So I stood with Ashok sir. She took the picture. I thanked her. She made my day. I think that I was so happy that time, and I really enjoyed that evening. Clearly remember. I remember qualifying for the nationals. So we won the national. Sorry, actually I couldn't go for the nationals. So this thing happened. I had my fracture, and then I got dengue. So that was 2 days before I could go for my nationals. So I couldn't go for my nationals that year. I was really sad, and I did not know, the COVID was coming and there would be pandemic and we would be at home, no more school games, no more tournaments. I thought, okay, next year, next 2 years, I'm going to do really well. But that was the last time I played for my school. That was at the zonals. And I really regret not playing for the last 2 years in class 11 and 12. We were always at home. Everything was online. So, yes. So this was another big thing in my life that actually changed my life. In class 11, when we were all at home, everything changed. My routine changed. My routine, used to be when I was seriously playing, when I was playing at a level. It was waking up in the morning, going for my fitness around 5:30 or 6, coming back, going for my school. After coming back from school, having my lunch, either going for tuitions and then coming back and going for practice, or the days when I did not have tuition, I used to go for my practice, come back and study. It was so hectic and I was so active. And then suddenly after the boards, after I gave my class 10 boards, we all had to stay home. Class 11 was completely online, classes from home. I got very lazy. I stopped waking up that early. My routine changed. There was so much change that came mentally and physically. So I thought, what am I going to do now? Because practice was closed. Then I thought that maybe I could do this for my class 12. I remember attending, I actually attended the Saraswati Puja when I was in class 11, and that day was the investiture ceremony for my seniors, and I attended that. And when they were getting the badges, I could feel the sense of responsibility and how proud they felt. And I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there, but I didn't know that I was really going to be the sports captain for next year. I mean, it was just something that I wanted. It was a goal for me. So after 11 finished, and when, the student council, you need to give your name for student council. I asked my mother that, should I give my name? What do you think? Should I go for it? She told me, you're going to do it. You have to handle class 12. You have to handle the work. I mean, there's so much to do in class 12. There's so much studying. Shrishti, there's so much work in class 12 and there's council work. It's not easy. But that time I didn't know there was so much work and I'm going to have it really, really hard. But I thought, just let me do it because I'm not doing anything. I'm always at home. I was not even studying very seriously, but I thought, let me do it. Maybe, being a part of the student council will make me more responsible, will make me feel that I need to get myself on the right track again. So I gave my name. I tried so much. I thought I wouldn't get it because my class 11 marks was not that good. But I think all the teachers, principal ma'am, vice principal ma'am, coordinators, they were so kind enough to give me the post of the sports captain for the year. And I remember, organizing events and, all kinds of meetings, so many meetings we had to do, be it late night meetings, morning meetings. We had so many meetings, and I couldn't have asked for a better team than this. Uditi and Audreja, they were immensely helpful. So this picture is from the investiture that we had around, I think it was in January, after we had finished most of the work of student council. And I remember, so the left picture, the picture on the left most corner, so that picture is actually when principal ma'am was giving me the badge, and I actually cried a little because principal ma'am told me that, Spriha, you've come a long way. And when she said that, my whole school life flashed before my eyes. It it has never been easy. It was very tough, balancing sports with my academics, but I was so happy that I did it in spite of so many struggles and obstacles. I did it because maybe if I was not into sports, maybe if I was not balancing it that well, I wouldn't have got that badge that day, and maybe principal ma'am wouldn't have told me that. So that happened in that picture, I remember. And the next picture is also that's my favorite picture actually. And a small incident happened. Maybe that picture would never have happened. So after the investiture, all the students were basically asking for a picture with principal ma'am and vice principal ma'am, but I didn't go. I was standing at the corner with my mother, and my mother asked me, "Why aren't you going?" And I told her that, "Mom, principal ma'am, vice principal ma'am, they have so much work. Why would I take so much of that time and ask for a picture?" And I just stood there. But then vice principal ma'am called me. She told me, "Spriya, why are you standing there? You're the only one who didn't take a picture." So that's my brightest smile that day, actually. I was smiling too bright in that picture. And it's one of my favorite pictures. And then the next two pictures on the right, those are with my team. I couldn't have asked for a better team. And it was such an experience. I learned video editing, I learned audio editing, I improved my communication, I got more responsible. It was the best decision that I took. But there was a point when I thought that, why did I give my name for student council when I'm in class 12? It's so much work. What am I doing? But then after I finished most of the work for the council, I was really happy, and I think I felt honored to be a part of the student council of Mahadevi Birla World Academy. It taught me so much, and this student council actually led me to think about or deciding to study abroad. So when all this was happening, I decided that now I think I should talk to my parents that I want to go abroad. And when I told them, they said, "Okay, then we're going to help you. We're going to support you, and you're going." So this has happened my whole life. I mean, I have been so independent. They have made me so independent. They have let me take decisions, big decisions in my life, because, when you take big decisions, you feel responsible, and you take the responsibility, whether it's, the aftermath is, either good or bad. It's your responsibility. So they've made me independent, and I remember doing so much research along with student council work for my universities. What course should I do? Where should I go? But then I started filling out my applications, and at that time, Shuchata ma'am helped me so much. So I think I'm very grateful to her. She helped me a lot, and principal ma'am helped me so much. She gave me this letter of recommendation, the coordinators, vice principal ma'am, and it was, I think I couldn't have asked for a better letter of recommendation because it was so beautiful. So after that, I filled out my applications, and around in November, I think I got few offers. I got few offers from few universities, and I thought, okay, this is happening, this is it. But I did not realize that in order to finally get into the university, I had to get certain marks, and those were high marks. And the one subject that I had to get high marks in was maths. And I mean, I'm never really interested in maths, and that wasn't my favorite subject. But I still took it in class 10, to do it for 11 and 12. And in class 12, I wasn't really studying maths, I will be honest. And at some point of time, I was doing so poorly at it. I mean, we had to give two boards in class 12. So the first boards that I gave, I still remember, I got 65% in board exam maths. All the other subjects were fine. So I did so bad at maths. And then there was the pre-boards in January before my second board exam. And I was even worse at that. I got, okay, I'll say the marks. I got 5 out of 40. So it's not a good mark. But then there was a 2-month gap before my final board exam. I didn't know what to do. I got 5 out of 40. I came back home. I told my mother, okay, nothing's happening. I'm not going. This is it. So my parents then took this step. They changed my teachers, and I got in, I started learning under a new teacher, and there was just 1.5 months left before my board exam, and I knew nothing about maths. Then when I started doing maths in those 1.5 months, I did maths like my life depended on it. I knew that if I didn't do it now, maybe I would regret it the rest of my life. So I did I got into math so much. Day and night I was doing math. It was like I'm doing PhD in math. My parents were so scared. They were scared I'm studying so much. I've told my parents, Mom, it's okay because I need to get my marks. So after I gave my board exam, math board exam, that was the last board exam, and the paper wasn't easy, but I was pretty confident that I did well. But still, the final marks for maths exam was about to come from term 1 and term 2, and I did not do well in my term 1. So I was really praying to God every day. I still remember I spent so many sleepless nights. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat properly, where I love eating, but I couldn't eat properly. I was crying so much. I cried so many days, but then finally when the marks came out, I actually got 86% in maths. And I think that's a big thing for me. From 5 to I went to 86%. This wouldn't have, I wouldn't have been able to do it if it wasn't for sports. Sports, they teach you to go from failure to success, and sports also teaches you how to find achievements in those little defeats and failures. Every match that I've lost, every bad experience that I've had in my sports career, I think that taught me, and that helped me with my math exam. Then I went on to, I got into University of Manchester, and I knew that this was my first preference. And without second thoughts, I accepted my offer. And then this whole visa application, and then my visa came. My visa actually came just 2 days before I was about to fly. And coincidentally, today is the 19th of November. I came here on the 19th of September. So it's exactly 2 months from now. And I think it's been a great journey. It's been a very good experience. So these are just two pictures that I think I'll never forget. This was during the takeoff from my Kolkata airport, and this is when I landed at the Manchester airport. This is a beautiful welcome that I got. This was during a sunset when I landed there. And I get to see these beautiful sunsets. I mean, it's not that the sun doesn't set in Kolkata, but it's just beautiful when I see it here, when I'm here and I'm looking at it. I see, okay, I've come a long way, I've done a lot, and it wouldn't have been possible without the opportunities that the school has given me, the the way, the path that the school has shown me, and every other person around me who has done so much. And definitely, last but not the least, my parents who have sacrificed so much, because you need to sacrifice a lot in order to do something and give your time at something seriously. So I mean, I did not I did not start going to birthday parties before class 9 or 10. So I missed birthday parties. I did not see movies at theaters. I missed family weddings. My family, actually my parents, they missed going out with their friends. They sacrificed so much just to give time to me. And I think that's how I got here at this beautiful University of Manchester. So these are two beautiful pictures that I took. And I would just like to take this opportunity to thank Principal Ma'am, Vice Principal Ma'am, coordinators, all the teachers of my school, because I wouldn't have, been here if it were not for the opportunities that I got. And the way the school has shown me support, love, encouragement, the recognition that I've got, I think I don't know if I deserve so much, but I'll make sure and I promise to not let anyone down. And with this, I would like to end my topic here. Thank you so much.
So how you took admission, like the admission procedure, I think you could have shared a little bit about the admission procedure, how to apply.
Yes, ma'am. I think it's not easy to do it on your own. So I took the help of an agent. They help students to go abroad. They help them with their applications. So I did a bit of research on my own, the subjects that I was interested in and the places that are, the best to study for those subjects. So I applied basically to 5 universities and I got offer from 4 universities. I did not get offer from King's College London. Rest all offers I got offers from University of Warwick, from University of Nottingham, University of Leeds, and this university, University of Manchester. The admission process was not easy. Those few months, those were very hectic for me. I mean, we had to write this essay at the very first stage to get admission into university, and the essay, I basically put my whole life journey into that essay and everything about that I did, so that I wasn't leaving any option, to stop getting into the universities because I wanted this so much. I wrote the essay, I submitted my letter of recommendation, predicted grades, all of these, and then this happens, you get a conditional offer. Either you get rejected or you get a conditional offer. And that conditional offer is not the final offer. Conditional offer is basically you have certain conditions that you have to fulfill in order to finally get into the university. So those conditions were the marks that I had to get in all the subjects. And that's when it hit me that I have to start studying maths, and then I did it. And sorry, then I finally got into the university, and I think I'm very grateful for that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I think now we'll start with the interactive session. Ma'am, Nikita Rixon, ma'am, please start with the
Yes,
question.
so that was an interesting session, and the information that you provided was really enlightening. So, do the students now have any questions that you would like to ask, Spriha? If you could raise your hands, so then we can go about it like that. Nishantika, yes, please go ahead.
Good morning, Spriha. It was very nice to listen to your journey in school. I could feel very connected because I myself, I do a sport. I am into swimming, so I can just relate. But I just wanted to ask, how did it feel like when you were holding the school's flag in your hand, representing your school in the Far East Zone CBSE competition?
Right. So thank you for your question, Nishantika. And I think you were there in student council when I was in student council, and I've seen you work very hard, and I loved working with you. So the question is rather interesting because I've always been fond of t-shirts and flags with, school's name or your own name behind it or on it. So for me, it was a big thing. And as I said, I joined the school in class 6, and that was my first year with my seniors when I went for the East Zone, championship. And they gave me the opportunity to take the flag because I was the youngest in that group. And I was so young at that time, I didn't know the meaning. But when I grew up, when I was around 15 or 16, I could really feel proud when I was holding the flag, and it came with so much responsibility. It's just not holding the flag and representing your school, but it's also about representing yourself, your parents, the place you come from, and the responsibility that comes with, taking that flag. And I'm sure you're doing pretty well, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Shlok, would you like to go ahead and ask your question?
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, Spriya. Uh, I, I, I am also a person who is like related to sports a lot. I also play sports a lot, and my favorite sports is cricket. But my question is that instead of going into academics, why did you choose sports as your main motive? Like,
Thank you for the question, Shlok. Well, sports, I've never really taken sports as my main career. If you see, I've got into academics. I mean, I could have done sports management, I could have done something related to sports, but I think it's for me, I wanted to explore a lot more. I did not want to keep myself absolutely focused on that sport area. I wanted to keep it as my, how should I say it? It's my best friend, okay? It's my best friend, and it helps me with a lot of things in life. Keeping it as your passion, keeping it as something that you love to do along with studies, I think that's better, much more better, because if you're completely into sports, I mean, you could do that, because if you want to do it, you could do that. But I did not want to keep myself absolutely into sports. uh you know I mean, it's fun when you are learning something new, you're learning a new subject, but at the same time you're into the sport, you're playing, you're representing your university, school. So yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
I hope that answers your question. Vanessa, you can go ahead and ask your question now.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I would really like to thank Prihadi for taking time out and organizing the session with everyone. It was really enlightening and enriching. I got to learn so much about sports, especially I am not really a person who has been very good at sports. I am more on the academic side. But my question to you is that did it ever occur to you at some point in your life, in your journey, that you maybe just wanted to give up on sports and go on and practice something else? You wanted to go and achieve some other field, because you mentioned that you had dengue, which even I have gone through, and it's not really a very helpful time in your life. So I just wanted to ask that.
Right. Thank you for your question. So, I mean, it happened so many times in my life, especially during the pandemic when I was at home. There was no practice sessions. I was at home. And that time, I started giving a bit time to other things because I had that time. I had that time to give to other things. And I realized that I have never really given time to things like, something creative or, writing something. I did not give much time to all of that. And I thought that maybe this time I should I just thought I should give up on sports, not even, change the sport. I thought I should give up on sports because I think this is it and I'm not going to do anything in it anymore. But then I had this very serious conversation with my parents. It's very important to always talk it out. It's very important to talk it out with your elders, who have much more experience than you. So they sat and they told me that this is something that's different in you and you have it and you have given so much time in it. So I think you should not give up. You should just keep going with it. I mean, you enjoy it. I enjoy it. I absolutely enjoy playing. And like you said, you're not good at it. You don't have to be good at it. Just enjoy yourself. It's about enjoying, it's about how much you're having fun. It keeps you mentally and physically healthy, playing a sport. So I've had so many instances where I've wanted to give up, but ultimately I did not because if I'm crying and I want to give up today I wake up in the morning and I know that it's okay, whatever happened, it's all past. Today it's a new day, I'm starting new. I'm going for my practice and I'm going to get better today. So yes, I think you should give up on something that you really love doing. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next we can have Abhi there.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, Spriha Didi. I hope you're doing well. So I learned a lot from you in table tennis. When I took up table tennis as my Kridakunj activity, I used to see you playing like forehand with such dexterity. Like I have never seen someone play a better forehand than you. And I used to look at you and I used to shadow forehand and backhand and all that. And my question is that whether you ever thought of playing for India in table tennis.
Thank you for your question. Well, that comes, when you start doing something, be it academics, be it sports, be it anything, music, you always see yourself at the highest position. You see yourself either playing for your country or, getting the, top marks at your in your class. You always see that. And I was always wanted to do that, but that did not happen, unfortunately, because I had to balance my studies along with my sports. So I think it was really tough for me and I couldn't do it, unfortunately, like I'm saying. But I've always wanted to play for India. Like my father keeps on saying that you can still do it, you can come back and you can still play. And I think it's a big dream, playing for India, that t-shirt on your back with your name, with with your country's name, India, in capital letters. It's a big thing. And I've always wanted that, but that did not happen. So I think, yes, maybe if you keep on practicing and if you keep at it, maybe one day you'll be able to do it. I mean, it's not impossible for anyone.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Umeza, you can go ahead and ask your question. I don't know if we can hear you.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank Spriha Didi for taking the time to tell us about her journey. It was really inspiring to me. My question to you is, how did you feel when you got accepted to the University of Manchester?
Right. So thank you for your question. Well, the day that I got an offer, well, there are two kinds of offer. Like I told you, there's a conditional offer and there's the final offer. So when I got my final offer, um, I really thought that I wouldn't get it. But when I got it and it read, I still remember the words, it read that you have got into the University of Manchester. Congratulations. And there's no better feeling than that because you have gone, through so much your entire life and you have put your life, all the experiences that you have had and achievements and everything into this one desire and want, and then you finally get it. When you see something happening, after working so hard, it's really beautiful. And nobody saw me. I mean, I was not in front of my parents when I got the final offer, but I teared up a little bit because it's not easy to go through what I went through. I mean, everyone has their fair share of struggle and achievements, and nobody should compare anyone with anyone. So I think that was a great feeling, and it was even more beautiful when I saw this, the picture that's on the screen right now. When I saw that scene, it's actually fixed in my brain right now. So it's a really good feeling. So, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have a question from one of our 11. So, Charu, you could go ahead and ask your question.
Hello. So I wanted to ask you, like you said, during COVID, all our routines changed, and it was very difficult for all of us. So how did you motivate yourself to get back to your original routine, like to get back to playing again?
Right. So it wasn't easy for me because for completely 1 year, I was so broken mentally that I couldn't do anything. And it's okay to not feel motivated always. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel, I'm not going anywhere. What am I going to do? It's okay to feel that way. But then after that 1 year, got over, I gave my final exam for 11. I could see that I was not going anywhere, and whatever I was doing back then was not really getting me somewhere where I would be proud of in the future, because you always want to see your better version in the future, right? So after 11 ended and I saw this opportunity coming, student council. So I took the opportunity. I thought, let's give it a try, because I really believe this one thing, that opportunities, they come at you in various ways, but you have to look out for it. You have to look out for it. There are ways to do things. There are so many ways you can achieve things, and there are always opportunities out there, and you shouldn't let them go. So I think that great opportunity that I got me back on the right track. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Samira, you can go ahead and ask your question now.
Good morning, Spriyadi. I'd like to take this opportunity to compliment you on how well you've conducted this session. It truly inspires me today hearing this story from you. I was, like you said, I became lazy in the lockdown. I'm working towards the better right now after it, but I'm a huge fan of going out of India, studying abroad. I mean, not that there are not good colleges here, but I see myself, every once in a while telling my mother, just take me outside, I want to feel how it is. So my question to you is, how did you feel leaving it all behind? I mean, coming out of India, going abroad, you're in UK right now. How did it feel leaving your parents there? I mean, you're studying for a short some span of time, but how did it feel coming out?
Right. So that's a beautiful question. Thank you. So when I was getting ready, packing my bag and preparing for my, flight, remember that it was actually not something that was making me sad. It's not, that's normal. It's not normal to not feel sad. It's more normal to feel sad, leaving behind everything. But I was so excited and I was looking forward to this beautiful place and this really prestigious university. I had so many things to do. I was thinking of so many things, related to my studies, what, all the things that I had to do there, because since I've come here, from waking up in the morning till the time I'm going to bed, everything I have to do on my own, right? Doing the cooking, the dishes, the laundry, cleaning, everything I have to do it. And I have to think about, okay, what am I supposed to eat tomorrow, do groceries, everything. So I think there's so much that you have to think about, that I didn't have time to feel sad. But then again, when I'm having difficult times here, it's not easy to be on your own completely, right? So when I'm not having those happy times, when I'm sad, that's when I miss my country, I miss my family, my parents, my friends. But then again, I'm really lucky enough because I have my relatives here. So my uncle, aunt, and sister, they live here. So that's a big thing for me. So I don't really miss them. So whenever I call my parents and they call me, so they ask me, "Are you missing us?" I'm like, "Of course not. I'm not missing you." You know, it's a, it's not true, but still, it's a big thing. It's a big experience. It's a great journey. I think everyone should do it. Yes, thank you.
Okay, Spriha ma'am, principal ma'am sends her best wishes and messages to you.
Thank you.
She just wants to remind you that she's not there because of medical purposes, but
Yes,
her
ma'am.
love and her best wishes are always there for you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Please let her know.
We'll just have two more questions now. We can have Aditi. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Good morning, Spriha Didi. Ma'am, Didi, I was very lucky to join this. I gave my name and I know that you will be very good in tennis as you told. But Spriha Didi, I had a question, Didi. Like in class 12, as you told that you were the student council, the sports manager. So how did you give time for yourself, the tennis thing? Like as 2 years of COVID, you told that the tennis match of yours was very like the very much end and you told that you were not doing sports anymore. But how did you motivate it? How did you get time for the academics and the sports as in the student council? And you told that you had meetings at night and the morning. So how did you give time for yourself at that particular time?
Right. So thank you for your question. Well, this thing is quite different because when I was in 12 and it was during COVID, right? So we were all at home. So I couldn't go for my practice sessions, and that was the only reason, to be honest, I took up council work, because I thought I could give time. I could give time to, working for my school. So I divided my time between my studies, my council work, and, a lot of research was going on for my university. So I divided a lot of time and I did whenever which was necessary. You have to set your priorities. It's very important to give importance to whichever needs the importance most. So I did not have much time for myself back then, but it's okay because I've done that and I've had that experience, and that experience has got me here today, and I don't regret, not having a little bit of me time. I have so much time to myself now. So this is the thing, that your life goes on, but things like entertainment and everything, movies and songs, they are always there. So you can do it later. You don't have to worry about that. So yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We close with our last question. I think Laksh had a question. Class 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, Spriya. First of all, Your journey is really inspiring. It inspired me a lot, really. And my question to you is like, how did you prioritize everything? Like, how did you motivated yourself for getting up early in the morning and everything, managing everything, your academics and table tennis as well?
Yes. So, this thing is like, when you're completely into academics, into studies, for me personally, when I'm continuously studying for a few hours, I get bored and I want to do something else. So that's when actually sports helps you, because I used to wake up in the morning, I used to do my fitness, and it wasn't easy waking up at 4 or 5. I used to wake up at 5 and get back to sleep again at 5 or 5, and then again get back at 5:10. So it wasn't easy. Until 5:30 I wasn't up from my bed. And I think what actually got me up from my bed was the experiences that I was about to experience for that day, the day at my school, my practice sessions, my fitness, because I knew that if I went through the day today, I'm going to be a better version of myself tomorrow. And I'm going to have so much, when you're into fitness, you are mentally and physically very healthy. So I think, I've always wanted to be a better version of myself, and that actually got me out of bed, in early mornings during that time, especially during winters. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Lily.
So I think we come to an end with all the questions. I hope that your questions were answered, and it was truly motivating and inspiring to hear your story and how far you've grown and how you've managed to conquer a lot of things that came your way.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, I think Audrija is waiting for a long time.
Adrija,
Actually,
yes,
more question.
yes,
Yes.
you can ask your question.
Good afternoon, Spriha Didi. I learned a lot from you today. This session with you enlightened and inspired me. I'm not much into sports, I'm more into the academic side, but I also enjoy extracurricular activities such as dance and art. So, since next year, us class 9s have a board exams, and also class 11s also have their board exams next year. Any advice or suggestions you want to give us to balance both extracurricular and academics?
Well, thank you, Adrija. So, well, it's okay if you're not into sports and if you're doing something else other than academics, because it's very important to do, engage yourself in something else other than studies. I mean, you could get into a sport. You do a sport at, school, right? At Krida Kunj, you must do. I think that's good enough. That's fine. You must enjoy it. Whatever you're doing, you should enjoy it. And about having boards next year for class 9 and 11, um, I think it's a very important year, and it's I think it's where you have to work hard a lot. You have to wake up in the morning, you have to start studying from early mornings. Not that I have done it myself. I'm just telling you because it's a suggestion. I'm saying it because I did not do it at the beginning and I regret doing that. So I would really love if you could, give time to yourself as well as work hard for, your upcoming board exams. And I know everyone will do well.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for all your questions, students, that you've asked, and I hope she has really inspired you all and motivated you all to continue with not just sports, but other activities as well in school. We go ahead with Trishti.
Isha, you can take the lead.
Yeah, good morning, Didi. Today's session was truly enlightening for all of us. Thank you, Spriyadi, for taking out time from your busy schedule and joining us today and telling us how to manage our time efficiently. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and experiences. They'll definitely help us make wise decisions in the future. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our principal ma'am and vice principal ma'am for organizing such an enriching event. Also, our teachers for helping us throughout, and the technical team for the smooth functioning of the entire session. Thank you.
I think I'll stop screen sharing. Just 2 minutes before I leave, because it's not really common that I'm so young right now, just few months that I've passed out, and it's a big thing for me that I'm back at my school as a guest speaker. And I really appreciate everyone being here listening to me. It's been a great morning. The sun is finally up now, so I think it's been really great, talking to all of you and answering your questions. I was really nervous and I couldn't sleep last night. So I think it went well. And thank you all for your support, and principal ma'am, vice principal ma'am, coordinators, all the teachers, the support and love they've shown always. I think I may never be able to pay it back, but I'm sure I'll never let them down. And thank you for having me here again. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you